Hello everyone, welcome to CFC Fan TV. I just watched Chelsea's 2-1 loss to Inter Milan, which was our last game of the Far East tour. I've looked at a lot of reaction on Twitter to it as well, and I've seen a lot of fans very, very upset with the result. I think you need to chill out a bit. It's only pre-season. I'm not sitting here crying because we haven't won the Intercontinental Champions, whatever that thing was called. We've not won it, but it doesn't matter. The main thing that I want to see from pre-season really is what we can kind of take away from these games. The first thing I took away from it was by far the best own goal I've ever seen. Chelsea's goal scored by Jeffrey Kondogbia, who's obviously an Inter player. He Beckham'd it from the halfway line and it went straight over their keeper's head, dipped under the bar. It was a thing of beauty, and it's already my favourite moment of the season. So certainly watch that if you haven't already. In terms of performance, I mean the game itself for both teams was really it really ebbed and flowed. It was really kind of stop-start. Chelsea actually had spells where we really boxed them into their own area without, I'd say, really creating many clear-cut chances. We'd kind of do the build-up and it would get lost a little bit. Equally, we had spells where Inter were just cutting us open at will. The other thing to say about the game itself is the refereeing was just abysmal. I mean, Inter's first goal, which was Jovetic, I mean, he missed a penalty and scored the rebound, but it was never a penalty. Azpilicueta got the ball all day long, and Batshuayi had a goal wrongly disallowed for offside. I think Inter had a goal wrongly disallowed for offside as well. So it was wall-to-wall poor decision. So I think you've kind of got to take the game with a bit of pinch of salt. Certainly the result anyway. But I don't think Chelsea were particularly good. I really don't think that we created enough. I don't think we looked fluid enough in attack. And I think still, other teams have played a hell of a lot more than us, and we've got the charity show next week, and it's not a game that I'm going to lose loads of sleep over, but it's only 2 weeks till Burnley, and that's by far more important. And I still think fitness-wise, overall-wise, in terms of cohesion, the performances of certain players that out excelled themselves last season, like Azpilicueta and Alonso, leaves a lot to be desired at this stage. So I think that there is cause to concern, but equally, we all know these matches are complete training exercises, so result-wise, I really don't want anyone to get too worried. From a positive point of view, obviously everyone was looking forward to seeing Morata's first start in a Chelsea shirt. I think he did pretty well, actually. He was on the left of a 4-3-3 with Batshuayi in the middle, as was the case against Bayern Munich when he came on. And he was really good. He holds the ball up really well. He challenges in the air. He would have been frustrated not to get on the score sheet. But he worked well, Batshuayi, and I wonder if that's a kind of sign of things to come. We know Eden Hazard's out for most of the start of the season, for the first few games. So be interesting to see whether Morata introduction to Premier League football is on that left-hand side. But, I want to see him in the number 9 role. That's what he's bought for, even if that is at the expense of Batshuayi, who had another good game, actually. Other pleasing things, I thought Charlie Masonda, who came on for the last sort of 25 minutes or so, I think he did really well. He posed a lot of threat to Inter, and I think he's obviously been given a squad number for this season. I think it'd be interesting to see how he gets on in the Premier League, if he gets obviously those chances. Speaking of youngsters, there's a whole group of youngsters who came on. The last couple of minutes, Carl Scott came on and showed some nice touches, I thought. I say youngsters, Loic Remy also came on. I'd expect that to be his probably last appearance in a Chelsea shirt. I think he's been a good player for us for the first part of his career anyway. And I think that was just about, these players have been on tour, they've been in training, they've been part of the first team group, and it was a way to give them the minutes to reflect that. But what I think it also says, and I think this is my main takeaway from this game, a few hours afterwards, is seeing Conte's quotes from after the game, and he pulled absolutely no punches. He was really solemn. We know he hates losing of any type, but he was really solemn after the game, and he was in no doubt that the Chelsea have to buy more players. We have to buy players of the quality that are going to compete at the top level in the Premier League, compete in the latter stages of the Champions League. We know there's not that many of those about, but that's why I think he wants to push for the Sandro deal. That's why he's open to having Oxlade-Chamberlain in. That's why you're seeing Chelsea linked with Kondreva, who played against us today. And he brought the youngsters on to give them a few minutes and whatever, but he also said, we're so short on numbers that these are the players that are going to be playing if we don't rectify the situation. And he actually referenced our last offence of a Premier League title winning campaign, which is obviously 15-16, where Mourinho ended up getting sacked with Chelsea in 18th place or whatever it was. And he says he doesn't want it to end up like this. So I think he's actually a bit more worried than the rest of us about where his squad lies. At least that's what he's saying publicly. So that'll be something that rears its head between now and the end of the transfer window for certain. He's clearly unhappy with the state of his squad in terms of numbers and in terms of depth and in terms of quality. So I think that'll be really interesting. Anyway, what did you think of the game? Let us know. I know Rory and Sophie will be doing lots more videos this week. And yeah, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you thought. Cheers.